Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus Danger Gladiator with more Pillar Loads tabletop games with Apocalypse Chaos. This is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players. Always happy to have little solitaire games where you play as one of 4 characters. As you'll maneuver around a ship in order to fight off enemies. You'll have your character sheets with places to put the dice that you roll, which let you do various things. Every turn you'll have your 5 dice to roll. 2 dice of the same kind can be used as 1 die of anything else. Otherwise, they go to these slots as follows. There's altering your initiative. So, initiative in the game is player initiative 1, then enemy initiative 1, then player 2, then enemy 2, then player 3. As you can see, that's you got 2 that are going to be going second most of the time, and 1 guy that's generally going to be going last, and 1 that's going to be going first. You can use lightning bolts that you roll to alter your initiative by 1 in either direction, or a star result that you set to anything. Otherwise, this slot up here is for activating rooms. A given room can be only activated 3 times per round. And you can see like the symbols, like the fist lets you send the person there to any space on the ship. This one is the lightning bolt and movement for restoring health. There's ways to shut down portals or do extra damage or protect yourself. Otherwise, there's movement. So from ground to ground is 1. From ground to next room up is 1. Is also 1. And from 1 level to the ground is 1. If there's like a second level up, then that would be 1. That would be 1. Yeah, I like the little pillars that come with the game for making that crazy tower. The first mission uses it quite a bit. Uses it anyway. So yeah, there's movement, there's melee. So let's go over the enemies real quick. In general, the deck will always have these kind of basic dudes, which do anywhere from like 2 to 4 damage with their attacks. Although if you're in a particularly bad position, they might even find a way to hit you twice. But it's important to focus on wiping them out as quickly as you can to get the items that you're going to need to have a better shot at survival. For the intro game, you are primarily tasked with fighting the bosses. They come in 3 ranks, and you have the choice to decide what kind of bosses you want to fight against. You can either just use them all randomly, or focus on level 1s or 2s or 3s. But in order to do a melee attack, you simply have to be adjacent. And every enemy starts with a little health token, and then when they have their turn, they'll follow their program and then flip over to show that they've done their turn. But anyway, so melee is adjacent ranged is at least one room away or more. But it has to be in a straight line. You can tell that it's because of the way the rooms are connected that only straight line range stuff works. And it also works the same way coming from the enemies when they attack. So, like, this guy will punch 3 and shoot 2. An enemy that has nobody to shoot will instead damage the room. A pillar, if it's standing. 2, 3. 3 points of damage will completely wreck the room, and you don't want that happening if it's something useful. Let's rebuild it again. There we go. So, yeah. So there's melee, there's ranged, there's armor. It lets you protect yourself against damage the more you have. So if you can assign 1 die to it, you'll be protected a little bit. 2, 3. So when you actually assign the dice, when it actually gets to your turn, that's when you decide what order you're doing things, whether moving first or attacking first. Every hero also has their special ability. For the green hero, they get to heal themselves, or I think a fellow player in the same ship. In other words, the same thing. So it's entirely possible to have the two ships by also using these extra pieces. Maybe second displacement chamber, which is how you can get from one ship to the next. And they can heal whomever on their ship. The blue hero can place these tokens on enemies to lock them down somehow. Or stop one of their attacks, or stop them from moving. The purple hero can move enemies, either adjacent one or any one. One space for the next. And then the red hero just gets to do an unstoppable attack against one area. So let's say there's a whole bunch of enemies gathered in one spot. They melee all of them for however many dice they have in that spot. And then finally there's the external support team. After everyone's assigned their dice, if the number of dice in the AST spot from all the players is at least equal to the number of players, then they'll get to choose an area to inflict 1 damage to all the enemies. It helps dealing with crowds, but at the same time, if the enemy is destroyed, they get nobody gets an item. Finally, with the dice, you can I believe you can give up to 2 of your own dice away, and you can receive up to 2 dice of other players. That's part of the planning. So the more players you have, the more characters available, the more dice you have to work with. But you see all these little portals? Every player in the game adds 1 of them, which means that many more enemies are going to have to be dealt with. So one of the tactics you have in the game is 2 players together, 2 characters in the same room, combine whatever they have assigned for armor. Which is a survival tactic. You can only ever have 2 characters ending their move in the same place. So that limits what you can do with that. And yeah, we'll see. I believe I missed some of the flow of. Okay, so the phase of the round is the arrival of new enemies. As long as a portal is up, there will be an enemy spawning there. Otherwise, if it's down, no enemy will spawn there, and instead the portal will be recovered. After enemies are placed. Some enemies have a little radar symbol. That means you'll draw another one for that location. If an enemy needs to be placed on a vortex, yeah, it's supposed to be a vortex, not a portal. What will instead happen will be an assault. That -2 will be going to a random location. So it's going to go wherever, to a room that has a star, if there's a star room. So it'll be this one. Only one assault can happen per round, no matter how short the deck is. And then players in this room at the end of the round will take that much damage. That's unstoppable. Yes, some damage just cannot be stopped. And considering you only have 8 health, you want to be stopping as much damage as you can. So, roll new enemies, prepare the heroes, which is rolling the dice, and assigning them, giving them away, and all that. Phase C is Global Offensive, which does the EST attack. So, another thing I need to mention is bosses. So, let's say that boss and that grunt are together. In order for us to attack the boss, we have to kill this grunt. The exception is area attacks, like EST and the red hero. Might be a good use for the purple hero in separating them to better plan out an attack as well. And then initiative order is gone through first. In case of tie between enemies, the enemy in the lower number of vortex goes first. And then, as I said before, players can do their actions in the order they want. Yeah. So yeah, melee, ranged, shields. Oh yeah, if a player is eliminated when their health hits 0, the other players have 2 more rounds to eliminate all the bosses, or they'll lose the game. So you want to try to keep your teammates alive as much as you can, or having that dice and not having it come down to a sudden death situation. Yep. I think that covers it. Some enemies can fly, so normally heroes up on a platform are immune to melee. Some enemies that fly, when an enemy flies, they can then attack. Yeah. So, what else? End of turn effects. So we've already covered the fire from the assault. There are some scenarios where rooms start out on fire. It sucks. There's like grenades as well. All heroes in a room with a grenade tile take damage equal to the total grenades. It's unstoppable. So trying to be in a room with a grenade. Yeah. And then make sure all the elect tokens are the same side, and each player gets their dice back. And yeah. So it keeps going until all the heroes are eliminated, or it's been 2 rounds after one hero has been eliminated, or all the bosses are gone. Difficulty levels, you can alter the which bosses you want to play with level wise if you want to control the challenge a bit. Or there's training mode, which I end up doing quite a bit because the game is. I won't lie. This game is hard. You can reduce life points by an enemy of one or two when it appears. So I'm playing on training mode. Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, the rooms. They go over the rooms with all the stuff that they do. There's one of the advanced rooms lets you build barricades. Which protects against one of the attacks. Barricades. Let's see. Points. It protects against melee. Rules. I think I missed. Yeah. It should say better. Yeah. So one of the things that'll be like with this most of the scenarios is this engine room, where players will have to permanently leave dice on to complete the mission. And yeah, speaking of missions, there are 7 of them leading up to a final fight against this jerk. And the only way to hurt him is to hold the sacred relic, which is a giant pain in the butt. I've not gotten to that last mission. I don't know how much to try. Block movement. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Barricades are damaged by melee attacks of 3 or greater, and then destroyed on the second time. Unfortunately, it doesn't protect against ranged or unstoppable. So barricades are. I don't know. So why the hell do I love this game when it's so freaking hard? I don't know. I think I'm a masochist or some kind. Something. I just like. It's an interesting challenge, I guess. You have to plan things out. You have kind of an idea of where things are going to be at the end of their turns and what they're going to be doing. So this guy is definitely going to be hitting here and shooting here, and then hitting here again and shooting here on it. So if I need to get out of danger for like one freaking turn, I can be here. Yeah. But then, there are just eventually so many enemies out there that it's kind of hard to plan properly and survive. It's just random challenge of kicking myself in the butt for an hour or less, and it looks cool. The being able to set up your own stuff, having the room building and all that. It's interesting, I guess. But yeah, this was a game I played solo a lot in the past. I got it a second time just because it was a game I missed having. And This might be one to try to bring with to the gaming group and see if they're up for this challenge, because sometimes a hard challenge can be pretty good. I mean, Pandemic is pretty popular for being the challenge that it is. You know, co-op games are always an interesting challenge of, can we work together? Can we plan together and survive this? But yeah, that's Apocalypse Chaos. Shouldn't be too hard to find a copy these days, I think. The last one I got was pretty good price. But yeah, if you're interested, go look for a copy. Try it out, enjoy it, have fun. This has been Pillar Nexus. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.